my friends, welcome back for tonight's shave. It is nighttime outside, which is brought to us by Arko. This is one of those, just grab it off, it's a pretty good soap. Daggone, and I can't get it open. Here it is. Had this one for a while. It's got kind of a nice barbershop-y fresh scent to it. Our brush today is that same brush that I was using last time because it was sitting here. And our razor is one that I keep forgetting about. It's kind of a neat problem to have, is I got equipment enough that I forget I have things. And this one has kind of a story. A few years ago, I think the patent ran out on these. This is a Mercury Futur, and a great big clunky big adjustable razor. But what happened, started getting clones of it all over. This is the clone of it, and I even made a video about how the clones and the genuine article are almost indistinguishable from one another. And in some ways, the performance of the clone is as good or better than the original. There are some design problems with the Future that we'll talk about here as we go. Kind of a dangerous razor to use because of the way the cap clips on there. I'll show you here. Let me finish this soap and then we'll get on to Arko soap. Is a beautiful thing. I think everybody should have some because this is a great fallback soap. Okay. The Mercury Futur, this is the clone, and it doesn't have a blade in it. That's why the top just kind of is held on by spring tension, and the blade lays here across this, and then the cap snaps on. Well, the problem with it is that there's a tendency or the compulsion to take off the cap with your fingers over both ends, and what can happen is that can slip and your fingers can go right across where the blade is. If it stays here, you can get yourself cut here, or you can get yourself cut here if this slips off, and you can really damage yourself. Didn't happen to me, but my brother lacerated his thumb real badly that way, and that was with the clone. This is the real one here. Keeping it in hot water because this thing also holds a lot of thermal mass, and that's kind of nice to happen when you it does neat things with the soap when you're making the shave. So this is a quick evening shave because I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, and one of which is going to start early, so I'm not going to have time to get a shave in the morning. So we'll do it the night before, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow. Now, history tomorrow is an interesting one, and it fits in with our. Well, this is pretty nice. These are great shavers. The clothes are good shavers too. So if you can get one, be super careful with it, but they are good shavers. In 1784, January 14th, I think I just cut myself. Another feature of these is it's got a terrific amount of blade exposure, and you can cut yourself. The what they call the Congress of the Confederated Colonies. This is before the United States was a thing yet. They ratified the Treaty of Paris, which was signed like in 1783. It had a 6-month window for us to ratify it, accept it. But only could do that if we had a quorum, because that's the way things went with the Articles of Confederation that we were in. And at that time, our capital was in Annapolis, Maryland. You know, center of maritime, because that's where the Naval Academy is now. Well, I'm not bleeding yet. I felt a little sting though. So they were able to get 9 states together, and that was a problem because that was kind of a problem all along, getting the 13 colonies to get us all together. It's kind of a miracle that it all happened, because where everybody agreed they wanted to it was self-evident with just a couple days ago, that common sense that we were just reading. It stands to reason that the American colonies should be independent and free, and that for protection service sake, for amongst the colonies, should band together. Well, they still wanted to be independent, so they don't want to do what everybody else wanted to do. It was a real nightmare. But they got together, and just within a few months, 5 years from when we declared our independence to when we finished the official part of the war, it was over. So it took 5 years. And those people that we were talking about last time, they're in camp outside of Cambridge, Massachusetts, had no idea how long this war was going to last. But there they were. And here we are 5 years later. And then it wasn't even a perfect solution, because there were holes in it, and we didn't have the ability to enforce certain parts of it. It was far from a perfect finish, but it did get the job done, and we were recognized on the world stage as an independent country. But there were still flaws and stuff, and that ended up 30 years later, the War of 1812. We got to war again about it. So it formally ended the war, let's say, and confirmed our independence, and we did get everything east of the Mississippi and parts of Florida and stuff like that. But it was a long time coming, and that's what we're going to find with our history going forward. Is, I'm going to cover the Revolutionary War, but there's going to be gaps, and I'm going to have to reach forward to grab things to give you guys a steady diet of cool stuff, and this is just one of them. Let's see how we did. Did I dry myself? Let's see how they did, because I'm kind of thinking I might have tagged myself here. Well, apparently not, but I got a buzz all over. This is a very aggressive razor. So you guys with the tough beards, this is one that would do it, but you gotta be careful. aftershave today. Just another old standard Arko start things. Let's finish things off with Panu Clubman. This is another old faithful, and it sits on top of my cabinet, so when I'm reaching in for aftershaves, it gets overlooked, but this time it caught my little eye, and here we go. But that's it for tonight's shave, and we'll be posting this tomorrow, so you guys will enjoy that. I'm Major Rich. You find me at shavingcutter.com. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're so inclined, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.